What's going on, guys? So yesterday I posted a status to Facebook talking about my very first assignment deal after being out of real estate for a few years, and how I actually got to the property and fell through the ceiling. And I asked if anybody wanted to hear about the story on YouTube, and apparently a lot of people did want to hear about me falling through a ceiling. So here goes the story. This happened a couple of years ago, around 2015, and like I said before, I had been out of real estate for a while, 2007 or 2008, and I was looking for a way to get back in. And I met a real estate turnkey provider here who took me under his wing and showed me everything about the game, how to do property assignments, double closings, wholesale real estate, as a way for me to build my capital back up so I could build my rental portfolio. And within 2 weeks of him teaching me how the game goes, I had my entire business set up. So within 2 weeks, I was out driving for dollars, what's called driving for dollars. And if you're new to real estate, driving for dollars is a really good way to find leads on properties and get some great deals. But pretty much, I found a for sale by owner sign, a property that had a for sale by owner sign in the front yard. And at the time, I was extremely hungry to get started, so I didn't hesitate to go ahead and call the guy. And we made an appointment to view the property next day, I believe. If it wasn't next day, maybe a couple days from me calling him. And I had everything prepared to go. I had done the numbers on the house. I asked my mentor about the property, what he thought about it, the price that he thought that I should get the property under. And I had everything set, met the owner at the house. We did a quick walk around of the outside of the house, making small talk, just while we were walking and inspecting the house. And we made our way to the inside of the property. And at some point I asked him about the condition of the hot water tank and the HVAC system. So we made our way up to the attic, and without even thinking about it, the walkway in the attic was insanely narrow, leading from the hot water tank to the other side of the attic that had the HVAC system. And I walked over to the hot water tank, checked it out, asked him a couple of questions, and I turned to look at him while speaking, and without even thinking about it, I stepped back maybe half a foot, just maybe out of habit. I'm not sure why I even stepped back, but the edge of my foot caught the edge of the walkway and my weight shifted backwards. And before I even realized what was happening, I was headed down. Now, the way the walkway was built, on either side of it, there was just insulation, and that led straight down to the ceiling. So when my leg shifted back, I was headed straight down. So there was nothing to support me from going through the ceiling, basically. And before I even knew what was happening, the owner, he reached out with cat-like reflexes, and he grabbed me by the elbow and pulled me up before my entire leg left the walkway. But keep in mind, by the time he caught me by the arm, I was already up to maybe the side of my body in insulation, headed through the ceiling. And he reached out and caught me just in time. And I'll never forget, he looked down and he said, "Oh no, that could have been a terrible situation." And he spoke with a really heavy accent, and I think we were both kind of stunned by what had just happened. So we made our way back down, and I really couldn't just get all my thoughts together, because I almost fell through a ceiling, and it was just kind of a shock to me at the moment. So I really didn't know how to bounce back from that. But I actually did get that property under contract for a pretty good price, even after everything that had happened. But in the back of my mind, I was sitting there thinking, okay, I'm going to have to go ahead and assign this property quick, or I'm going to have to pay for this guy's ceiling. There's no way around that. But to make a long story short, I actually did contact a few of the people that I had contacted before about buying properties, and nobody actually wanted the house at the time because it was on a main street with a lot of traffic, and I just didn't have a lot of interest in the property. But about 2 months later, I think maybe 2 months or so, we actually did get the property sold. So it went from a situation to where I almost had to maybe pay for a repair or just go ahead and get the property sold. And I actually did make money off of it after the owner hadn't been able to sell it for, I think, maybe a couple years or so. So that story did turn out well. I didn't hurt myself too much, minus a couple of scratches on my leg and on the side of my body, but it turned into a positive thing that could have been something that ended my career, me falling through a ceiling and hitting some hardwood floors at the bottom. But from that experience, there is one thing that I absolutely will not do now. I absolutely will not check any attics. I don't care what's up there. I don't go in the attics now. I can send rehab guys, send partners, whatever, but I'm not going in any attics. And I halfway don't like to go in my own attic now just because of that experience. You never know when you might just go into an attic, fall through, and hit the bottom of the floor. But that's the entire story. What I'll do is I'll post a link to the actual property that was mentioned in this video, and you guys can see my very first deal that I did a couple of years ago. So that's it, guys. If you like the story, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Hopefully it was interesting. I don't think I've heard any other first-time assignment deal stories that have been more intense than that, falling through a ceiling. So if you've got one, feel free to tell me about it, and I'm open all ears. So that's it, guys. I have other videos, other stories coming from you. I'm just having fun with real estate right now. It's been a great vehicle for me, gaining money, helping some people out. So until next time, guys, I'll talk to you guys later.